want to destroy.
Don't lecture me, Obi-Wan.
The story is good too.
I see through the lies of the Jedi. I do not fear the dark side as you do.
Different points of view pressing on each other.
I have brought peace, freedom, justice, and security to my new empire.
Your new empire?
Don't make me kill you.
Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
Nice change in tone there.
If you're not with me, then you're my enemy.
Turn 5.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must.
Yeah, only a Sith deals in absolutes, and it is kind of a crazy thing. Like, let's say, for example, right? People want to start a particular habit. I'm going to start going to the gym every day. It's an absolute. Oh, I didn't go yesterday, so fuck it, I shouldn't go today either. It's an absolute. Oh, you know, I messed up on my diet, so it's an absolute. I relapsed, so absolute. Them absolutes will send you towards the darkness, yeah? Nuance and consideration of the turtles all the way down is generally like resisting the idea of free will. It may seem appealing because it's like, yo, you want to feel like you're in control of everything. Then again, being open to and potentially accepting a level of determinism or full-blown determinism, it gives you kind of more practical steps, you know? It's like, okay, so what I have to do is set up the environment in a way that makes all of the behaviors that I want, or the natural outcome of being in that environment. So it's like you design the environment and design experiences to become the turtles that will lead you towards whatever outcome it is that you do want. And that's very nuanced. It's not quite as absolute as like, I have free will, so I decide this. That's kind of an absolute. And it's interesting, man. Like, I think that the whole purpose of story is actually to impart lessons that are just very difficult and abstract. We know about abstractions and like the delicacies of it. Let me get into it for a quick second. Right. So basically the idea that I'm working with currently is that to some extent language is encoded into our nervous system driving behavior, meaning that in certain instances saying certain things will cause us to do a certain behavior. So if you wake up and you say, let's get after it, and then you do a particular thing, by saying that, your language is driving your behavior. When Khabib is telling Michael Johnson to give up in the fight, you know, I deserve this, his language is actually driving his own behavior, furthering his conviction, but also Michael Johnson's behavior and diminishing his own conviction. It's interesting to watch how the language play off each other like that. I think that the most significant aspect of all of this is really how using the abstractions in our head, like I want to be healthier, creates a confusion in terms of driving behavior, because it's like, okay, you want to be healthier, but what exactly does that mean? And then you may dive into a sea of information which is often conflicting, creating further confusion, and there's just not a lot of drive to the behavior itself that needs to happen. And when it's clear with the language or with our thoughts, visualization, or even if the geometry of what needs to happen and the force vectors are clear, it can drive behavior. But when it's ambiguous and abstract, it becomes much more difficult. Now, abstractions are valuable to an extent. That's why they exist, because they allow us to communicate things that are like, you know, deeper and more difficult, but only when there is like time. I mean, I guess that's why public discourse exists to begin with, so to tease apart all the abstractions that become necessary to use at a certain level, maybe once like you get past a certain number of people, is orient yourself to reality as far as the individual goes, of like, what are the behaviors that I'm executing, what are the triggers of these behaviors, what are the ways that I can get more energy into my body, sunlight into my eyes, sleep good at night, drink water, so that I can have the energy that it takes to change my physical structure and mental structure. now considering these beliefs as our mental structure. Is like the things that you believe are essentially your posture.